Hello and welcome to the podcast We Are Selling, brought to you by Realtair, the home of pitch, sign and sell. Over the last few weeks, we've had some amazing agents who've not only taken to the podcast to share their story, and everyone loves a story, but by sheer chance, they've also done very well in social media. And when we look at someone like Dane Atherton, number one in the world for hardcourts right now, Dane's got a story, he's got a background. And today's program is going to be a 3-part series as we discuss, by your request, videos of value. And to do this, we're going to bring an international video specialist person in from all types of business, but now focused on the real estate industry back here in Australia. Please welcome to the program, Clint Ranse. Clint, welcome in.
Thank you very much, Lee. Great to be here.
Clint, give us your background.
Background for me, I spent a lot of years travelling the world, designing shows, working with large musicians and touring acts and various things, ranging from Cirque du Soleil to Metallica to Britney Spears. So got to take in a lot of different people and how they act and their behaviours and various things across that time. We had a family, and obviously that's not a very family-conducive environment, so it was time to come home, and we made lovely Port Macquarie our base, and now we're tapping into some of those learnings.
Well, I've been showcasing some of your videos at the Complete Salesperson course, as we have a mutual client there in Dave Gray of the Elders Lifestyle Group. And, geez, when we started that, there were 7 offices. Today there would be...
We're at 17 now.
17
so, yeah, and growing
offices,
fast.
Going right up that north coast, that regional part of Australia. And the videos that we've been showcasing from there were videos of value. And you can imagine at the Complete Salesperson course, you know, we've got so many videos that we could show. Take me into what videos of value are and what we can learn from this 3-part series.
Videos of value are videos where you're not pursuing that virality and hoping to get 20,000 views. It's actually targeting who you want to talk to, what you're talking to them about, but also in a language that suits where they're at in that stage of their life, so that it's opening up, explaining pain points, looking at goals that they have, different things to actually create a complete avatar that is more so than just Betty who's 55 and makes 60 grand a year. It's actually getting right down and understanding the psychographics and behavioural systems that she works to daily.
Yeah, this is really interesting, and I think everyone reads it the wrong way of, I had 1,000 people look at my video last night. You're looking for one who wants to sell or one who wants to buy. What is the right numbering? And a question you must hate answering, the time frame of a video.
If you're using video properly, your videos are endless. You should only ever have to update that video if you start looking too young in it, because you've matured through the industry. True videos of value are the ones that you create once, and that will do, for example, help someone step over their sentimental attachment to their home. But that's obviously if you're targeting empty nesters or that kind of thing. But it's an ongoing video that's on your platform. Don't get caught up in, I've got to have this going on my Instagram feed. They're more so in that social world, just looking for entertainment. I'm a strong believer in that once they reach the YouTube, the Googles, that kind of thing, they're actively searching. They're a person who's potentially a customer in the next 3 to 6 to 12 months. So to me, I want to talk to them a lot more than I want to dance for someone on social media to get their like.
This is such interesting information, and our listener is starting to understand what a video of value is. And that was just a defining moment for me there of, it's not about today's dance or today's grab of information. Should You Move, Should You Renovate was a video that I did 15 years ago. I popped it on YouTube. It's gone absolutely crazy, but crazy in the way of people search on the topic, should you move or should you renovate? And I went right through the formula that is required to make those decisions and cost of change. And it's useful information. And I think this is where we've really got to understand what video is, what video is not. And this is the defining moment for our listener to bring this all together. Let's start with the videos you do require. And the first one is the profile video. What's a good profile video look like?
A good profile video is only 3 minutes long at most, but it tells who you are, but it also carries that social proof of a testimonial or something in it to lend the fact that you are who you say you are. But it's your chance to actually show people who you are, and it works as a great touch point. Like using pitch as an example, if you have that as your ending thing and they get to realise that you are a young dad like they are, you have a young family, turns out your kids go to school where they do, and they find that stuff out through video as well as just general conversation. So I'm a big believer that if you want people to work with you, it's just as important for them to know who you are as you to know who they are.
The word profile video is an industry term. Technically, it's a people video explainer, isn't it?
I call them video business cards because it's essentially what it is. This is your chance where you can get someone for 3 minutes to sell you for you.
Clint, anyone listening to this program right now agrees video is the way. They just didn't know the way to do it, and it's not about TikToking and dancing. It's about these videos of value. But it's also about targeting. What would be the best way to realise who your target audience is, and what would you do once you've worked out that avatar?
First thing to look at is go through and have a look at what your last lot of sales were. So what was the age, what was the basic demographics of your last 20 sales? Now take those 20 sales and go, well, those 5 people I didn't enjoy working with, they weren't worth my time, and remove them, and then work out who it is that you want to target and what you are targeting. It is a bit different with real estate because it's a bit hard. It's not like selling a dress where you know automatically you're only speaking to 60% of the population. So you do have to be semi-broad, but if you're using the right messaging as you're doing it, it speaks to the right people at the right time.
We mentioned before empty nesters. Let's say that's become, you went through your last 20 sales and you noticed that's what was there. And there's so many great categories to this when you think about it. It's like the upsized property is now back in fashion with shared ownership. So suddenly, but we'll stick with empty nesters. What's the skill to get deep into the niche of this one?
Well, like the perfect example, the first video I'd go for with an empty nester is they're thinking, oh my God, I've owned this home for 50 years. I haven't transacted in real estate for 50 years. So much has changed. Pretty easy to explain to them, look, it hasn't, the fundamentals of it hasn't changed. The technology has, but we look after that for you. So just that video to put that first thing at ease. Then there's so many things you can look at. They're just general fear of change, the sentimental attachment. They're worried about market timing because they've heard that a year ago it was better than it is now, so they feel like they missed it. Explain that to them. Break it down. They're downsizing doubts. Can we actually fit into what we're going to? So just stuff that they will be looking at and reverse some of those beliefs and how you reframe them to be something they want to watch.
And this is where you've got to be in theme. You can't be speaking about empty nesters and then back dancing in front of a signboard. If you're going to target people, we're working out that who it is, what we can do for the area where you are. But then, and this is what we're going to discuss in part 2, a 26-week targeted video plan. And what I really like about the next part of the program, because we've now set the scene of what we're going to learn about video, but we're at a time of year now where people are going to be available. They're at home. They're not working. We're coming into this Christmas break. And suddenly you're off, but you could be on, if that makes sense. So people say, you know, I've had enough. I'm going to have a break for this time of year. I'm not going to speak to anyone. The opposite is you could communicate with everyone. And when you get back, why is there 50 people that want to speak to you? And suddenly we've got a leveraged communications plan rather than just popping videos up there.
Well, it's, as we've spoken about before, it's claiming that digital door of letting that run and work for you. The opposite side of it is, like, if you're in a tourist location and you're away, let that run for you, because then essentially anything people are searching about that area, if you've got the right content created, they're finding you, even if it's not necessarily real estate specific. It can be things like best coffee in, using Port Macquarie as an example. If people Google search that and you're the video that comes up, then it's quite easy to start claiming those doors because that's your first touch point.
What a powerful way. And this is where you start to think, what are people searching on? I love Port Macquarie. The best beer in Port Macquarie. Whatever it is, you can build targeted videos, but this is what we'll discuss in our next part of the program. Clint, absolutely really excited about doing this 3-part series with you and to have someone of your level on board. And there's so much information we need to discuss, but I'll see you next week when we do part 2. Thank you for joining us.
See you then. Thanks, Lee.